Okay, so I've gone and plugged in my Behringer XENYX 302 USB, and we are going to test out the phantom power. Right now I'm talking on the newer NW800, just plugged into the microphone jack on the back of the computer, and we have 30 decibels of amplification. Let me just show you that. Okay, so we have 30 decibels amplification, 2-channel, pretty standard, nothing special. So this is what it sounds like. So I received my XLR cable today. It's just a cheap one from Amazon. I think it was $11. We're going to plug this in, and we're going to plug the other end into the mic. We're going to switch the input to the USB microphone, basically the output of the Behringer, and we'll see how that sounds. And then we'll go over how to use this this mixer. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I've detected the Behringer mic. I've turned up the microphone volume through the XLR cable here. I just enabled listening to myself here so I can hear what I sound like on the headphones, and I'll be able to adjust the volume accordingly. So let's do that. So the microphone volume is down here. The levels in Windows 100%. I think this will automatically adjust, and I've set it to 2-channel, just so I can hear in my headphones stereo sound. So I'm just going to adjust the volume and the gain a little bit until I sound. We'll put everything in the middle. Oh, I sound much better with the bass on a little bit. So let's turn up the bass, well, the lows and the highs just a little bit. Let's get the volume adjusted so that we don't have too much noise and our levels aren't hitting the red. I think this is pretty good. I'm a comfortable distance away. You can probably tell I sound much better. We'll adjust these here. And I should be good. All the audio is coming out of the USB and into my PC. And let's go over how to use this device. There's some buttons, some gain and volumes. We'll quickly take a look on how that works. Okay, so to get a good volume on your mic, the XLR cable, we want to adjust the volume and the gain until we get solid lights whenever we speak. If you're getting solid lights when you're not speaking, you've turned up the volume or gain too high. So I'll back up. For instance, when I don't speak, these lights should not be on. So that's too high. So I've adjusted it so that when I'm speaking, the lights come on, and when I stop speaking, the lights go out. You also don't want the lights to flicker while you're speaking. That means that they're picking up noise, or it's too low and can't detect your voice in lower sections or dips in your voice. So this setting is pretty good for me from the distance that the mic is right now. Works. So I've got my levels set here. I think they're a pretty decent level for how I sound. I've listened to myself on the Windows listen to this device setting. So this first control is for your microphone. Okay. It will also work on this microphone input here. So if we get an XLR to headphone jack and plug it in there, this section will also work. This section right here is just for microphone inputs, or a device that you plug in with an XLR. So if you plug in some instrument with an XLR cable, that should also work. So we can see here this first slider that adjusts the bass in my voice, or the low tones, and I can mute out the low tones. We'll set that back to 0. This will be my high tones, so if I ramp this up, I'll sound very flat and tinny. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I set it down low, I will lose all the highs, and I will sound very bassy and have a lot of low tone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pan is the left and right channel inputs. XLRs are typically one channel. I'm using a condenser mic, so it's one channel. But the channels on this are balanced, so they are shared. The left and right are shared. So we can go left audio input, and we can go right audio input. And you should hear the audio go between left and right. Okay, so we'll set that back into the middle. These controls here, they have nothing to do with the mic input. We can put these up and down, and you should hear 0 difference in the sound that you're hearing. Same with these buttons here. All of this stuff is not going to control anything that you hear. Same with the main mix volume. We can do this, and it's not going to make a difference. Okay. We can turn it all the way down if we want. So I'm just going to leave this about halfway. The lights still come on. Sorry, I should have mentioned, you should put this about halfway when these lights are coming on. So let's explain this section here. So the way this works is you have line in, 2-track, and main mix. These are inputs. This is an output. Your USB on the back of the device is an input and an output. It's a digital interface. So within Windows, you can set this as an output, so you can play music on your PC or your laptop. And instead of the audio going out to your speakers, you can select the output to this device. You set this as your speakers in Windows, and the audio will stream into here. Same thing with input in Windows. You select the Behringer as your recording device or your input. All audio will stream out of this and into your computer as if it was a microphone. Then you have these two. This is for headphones for listening, and this is for a mic, just like the XLR. If you want to put in a separate mic that has a 3.5mm jack, or if you have a headset that has headphones and a mic and the cables are separate, you can put them in on there. The buttons here, they correspond to what is above and where the audio is either coming into or going out of. All audio, no matter which you select here, will go out of the USB if it is plugged into a PC. No matter what. All audio goes out onto this USB cable if you're plugged into a PC. It doesn't matter what these are selected. It doesn't matter what this volume is. It doesn't matter what this volume is. The audio will leave the USB and into your PC if you have it plugged into a PC. You can power this with a wall power brick like this. This is the one it came with. And then nothing leaves here. In and out. It stays. It doesn't receive anything because it's just power. There's no audio interface plugged into it. So what these buttons do is determine, this is the from. So if you want to listen to the audio that's coming into these RCA cables here, then you would leave this pointing up. You can see, but beside line in, there's a little up arrow, and that determines whether or not this button is pressed down or pressed up. Okay, so when you push it, it locks into the down position. When you push it again, it comes up into the up position. So depending on what you want to play into the mixer, if you have these RCA cables plugged into, let's say, an MP3 player or a record player, something you want a karaoke machine, you can use a cable like this. Okay, so one end is a 3.5mm jack, the other end is stereo RCA cables. You plug them into here. We can play this audio. We could play audio on our PC. On the PC, select the speakers as the Behringer USB device. Push this in, and whatever audio is playing through here from your PC with this device selected as the speaker, when this is depressed in the down position, audio coming in will play into the mixer, the main mix. Then we have the to section. Where do we want to play the audio coming in? Where do we want to send it? So the audio that's coming into here is going to come out of the USB. It doesn't matter what these selections are. But if you have something plugged into here, again, if you don't have a USB available, you could plug these in to this one, plug this into a recording device or a PC that has a microphone in. So whatever's coming in on the microphone, the line in will be mixed. It's a mixer, so it'll be mixed and put into the main mix output. So this one here is an output. All of this here controls the mix. So the volume of your line in, this one, or if you have this pushed in, the USB. This is the volume for your line in and your USB. What you want to play this out to, whether you want to play it out to this channel here, so you have one of these and it's plugged into a microphone jack or a line in on a PC, you leave this button up. Okay, so right now it is in the up position. I don't know how well you can tell that. And this red one is in the down position. So this is in the up position. You can see the little arrow. It says up, main mix. There's your main mix channel. This is the volume for your main mix channel. And whatever is playing out of here, from here to this, will come out of the main mix. If you depress this into the down position, it's going to play out of the headphones. Okay, so if you have a USB to headphones, or you want to listen to yourself on headphones and not through a USB channel, you can plug that in right there, listen to what you want to listen to, unpress that, and it will start playing through there. Similarly, what you could have is you could have a splitter. So there's also a 2-track channel here. Okay, I'll unplug this. So you can play something into here. It doesn't have its own volume knob, and these do not affect the 2-track or second track. So what you could do is, for instance, you could play a splitter where these two are the same. So you have 4 of these plugged into there, and you can have your 2-track going to your headphones and the main mix going out to your mix or through the USB. The 2-track will also go out the USB. Remember, everything goes out the USB if it's plugged into a PC. except for obviously the main mix. The main mix channel doesn't go out to PC, it's an output. Okay, so with these depressed, these are going to send this audio or this audio that's coming in. It's going to send it out through the main mix or to your headphones. Same thing with 2-track. There's no volume or mixing. You can't adjust. There's no tone adjustment or balance adjustment for your 2-track. It's either send it to main mix or send it to headphones. So again, you could plug an MP3 player in there if you have volume control on the MP3 player. Plug it into this and adjust the volume through there. If you want to see how loud it is on that, you can plug your headphones into this port here, depress this, listen to the volume on your headphones, adjust it on your MP3 player or your record player or whatever you've plugged into 2-track, and then once you want it to go to your main mix, you depress it so that it's in the up position and it will be sent out to your main mix. Now, your output of your main mix, that's going to be controlled with this volume here. This is just amplified volume for the main mix, all of these combined. So you can listen, if you have both of these depressed, it'll be headphone volume. Okay? And once they're both in the up position, it is your main mix volume. These sliders only control line in. They do not control your 2-track. This volume is your line in preamp for line and USB. Headphones, this is your volume for your headphones. If you have something plugged into here, you can turn it up and down. And that's pretty much it. That's how you use this. So I've been talking this whole time. Let's adjust that. I like my lows a little bit higher and my highs just slightly underneath that. Left and right. Same thing with balance, left and right. Lows and highs. So I hope that helped you with your Behringer XENYX 302 or 502, whatever one you have. They should be pretty similar in how they operate. If you have any comments about this device or any questions, let me know. I will try and answer the best I can. The other thing that we didn't go over on this one is this XLR is also a 6.5 millimeter or 6.25 millimeter input in the center of the XLR. I'll point this out when I actually change the plug. You'll be able to see that there's a hole in the center, and that fits a standard 6.25 millimeter. I believe it's 6.25. I don't use them often. It's actually not 6.25. It is 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeter. So you have a standard 3.5 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter jack, and then you have a 6.35 millimeter jack, which is the larger one. You can find adapters that slide over that, or it's sometimes just like a long stem. So we'll take a look at this. Okay, so that's the adapter for a 3.5 millimeter, goes in this end, and it adapts it to the 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeter. That will be in the center of this XLR mic. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that if you get one of these, this video helps you understand how it works. And maybe if you don't have one and you're looking to get one, you want to understand how it works before you get it, so you can understand the controls and its capabilities. You have that available to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.